Hey, welcome back. It's Tiffany Sims, your burnout recovery expert and high performance coach. And today we are diving into one of the 5 skills that you need to master as a woman in the workplace, and that is stress management. And most of the time, when you mention stress management in a boardroom situation, people think about EAP programs and like all this foo stuff, like go get a massage, send her for a pedicure, like go have some beers with the guys. That's not what I'm talking about. How you manage your stress and how you express your stress in the workplace is going to highly determine how successful you are in your career. Okay. Yes, getting a pedicure and a massage are really nice, and those are some tools in your toolbox. But that's not going to repair your chronic stress. That's not going to make sure that you're set up for success long term. When we talk about big S stress, that comes down to how you feed your body, how you move your body, and the stuff that you let in between your ears. Okay? So one of the biggest things that you can do for yourself to manage your stress is to move your body with intention for 20 to 30 minutes every single day. I personally prefer to do it before the workday starts because then my body is like primed and ready to go. I know that I've already taken care of myself. I physically feel alive. The blood is pumping, the blood is oxygenated because I've been like pounding it out in the gym, and it works for me. Another thing that's really helpful is when I said what happens between your ears. What garbage are you letting in? Because if you're someone who's constantly gossiping at work, you're constantly letting people bring that energy into your world, your stress is going to be through the roof. You think that gossip is like downtime, playtime, like it's entertaining, but what it's really doing is contributing to your chronic stress. And when you're chronically stressed, how you respond to other people when they bring you their problems, not always great. And so if you're someone who is constantly blowing their lid when someone brings something to you, if you're constantly dismissing people because you're so overwhelmed that you can't handle their problems, how are you going to expect to climb the ladder, get that promotion, be seen as someone who can take charge? Does that mean you should be a doormat? Absolutely not. But knowing how to express your dissatisfaction to make sure that the lid stays on your pot and getting out that stress energy in healthy, sustainable, and what's the word I want to use? No, it's just, no, that's not it. I can't think of the word I want to use, so we'll just whatever. But you learning how to manage your stress so that the rest of your team does not feel it is a skill, and it's a gift, because the more that you can keep your composure, the better your team can respond in the event of a crisis. So I mentioned that I worked for, if you've been around, you know that I worked for a Fortune 250 company for 12 and a half years. Very high stress, high demand, male dominated workforce. And everything was due last month. Tension was always high. Stress was always through the roof. And if I didn't hold my composure and I let everyone else's bullshit blow the top off of me, I would have never been successful in my job. I would have never been successful in leading teams and getting projects together and fighting the fires, right? I had to learn how to control myself, which was eating foods that made me feel good, eating foods that didn't give me brain fog, that didn't upset my stomach, foods that made me feel alive, and moving my body so that I was strong. And also listening to, podcasts and videos that were feeding my mind, not just giving me garbage, because garbage in, garbage out. Okay. And in that, those days were stressful. They were so stressful. And when I wasn't taking care of myself, I was underperforming. I wasn't meeting my job description. I was barely doing the bare minimum. But when I was in control, it took a lot to shake me. And I also had developed the emotional intelligence to be able to know how to take in information and let it kind of filter its way out so that I could deliver a message back to the person in front of me. And you get really smart about who you share your frustrations with. Because when you are a leader, when you want to be a leader, even if you are not one yet, you have to be really selective about where you let that energy out at. You can no longer complain and lose your shit with your coworkers or the people that report to you. You can't really lose your shit with your boss because he's got his own pile of problems, and you don't want to be the person that can't handle it and is constantly affecting the energy of everyone around them. So where do you go? You find a peer, you have a friend, because everyone needs to vent, but make sure it's a friend that's not going to let you get stuck in the weeds. Someone's going to let you let it all out so that you can process what's going on and go back to being the amazing leader that you are. All right. So let me know below some of your stress management skills and your tips and tricks for the group. And we'll see you next time. Bye bye.